An emotional day in a Licking County courtroom as the trial gets underway for the truck driver charged in connection with the deaths of 6 people after a devastating crash on I-70.
The families of the victims have been waiting for a year and a half for this day. We have team coverage tonight. Now, for the first time, we saw new body camera video showing the moments after this fiery crash. Some of it's too graphic to share with you, but let's walk you through the timeline of what happened. It was November 14th, 2023, when 54 band members and chaperones from Tuscarawas Valley schools were on their way here to Columbus, scheduled to perform downtown at the convention center. Investigators say semi-driver Jacob McDonald set off a chain reaction crash involving several cars and trucks, including the band's charter bus on I-70. McDonald is charged with 26 counts, including 6 counts of aggravated vehicular homicide.
3 students were killed: 18-year-old John Wyatt Mosley, 15-year-old Caitlin Owens, and 18-year-old Jeffrey J.D. Worrell. And a teacher and 2 other chaperones also died. They were 56-year-old Dave Cannett and 39-year-old Christy Gaynor and 45-year-old Shannon Wingfield. More than a dozen others were actually hurt in that crash as well.
And today began with something you rarely see during a criminal trial. The judge made sure that the semi-driver, Jacob McDonald, was choosing not to have the jury hear his case. Instead,
the outcome will be up to the judge, and his testimony begins. Tears were shed from members of the Tusky Valley community reliving that day. Now in the courtroom, Mike McCarthy has a full look.
Semi-driver Jacob McDonald now on trial. Prosecutors say his actions along I-70 turned a joyful school trip into a deadly tragedy caused by distracted driving.
The defendant was speeding. The defendant wasn't watching the roadway.
Prosecutors say McDonald set off a fiery multi-vehicle crash, hitting the charter bus carrying the Tusky Valley Band. Band director Mary Gensley described the impact.
I felt this slam, and it felt like it came from the back, and then I blacked out.
As smoke filled the bus, middle school band director Stephen Tripp testified students climbed over seats. Some were blocked by debris, and he said John Wyatt Mosley was stuck between seats. He was among the 6 people who died.
He's pulling on the seats and they won't move. He's totally stuck, and at that point you can see smoke and fire inside the cabin.
Prosecutors believe McDonald was on his phone. Federal crash investigators reported about 10 minutes before the wreck, records show a spike in data similar to watching a video. McDonald's lawyer argued the records do not prove that.
AT&T doesn't tell you what user activity is. They tell you only volume of data, the session interface. They can't tell you what it was at all.
The defense said McDonald's average speed was below the speed limit, and the crash happened as traffic slowed due to a prior wreck.
The bus broke hard. There was a hard braking event from the bus. Then there was the impact from the rear.
The impact of that day left the Tusky Valley community with nearly a year and a half of heartache. A judge will soon decide the legal impact on the semi-driver, now on trial.
McDonald faces the possibility of more than 40 years in prison. At this point, he is not expected to take the stand.
Now, this trial has been a long time coming for family members of those 6 victims. Tonight, only on ABC6, Kate Seifert spoke to one of those families about what life has been like since that tragic day.
Families tell me it has been a long year and a half waiting for this trial to begin. They say Monday was the first step in trying to get some closure and hopefully justice for their families, as well as all of the other band members who were on the bus that day.
We miss her every day.
Lisa Huser traveled from New York here to Newark for Jacob McDonald's trial. McDonald was behind the wheel of the semi that ran over a car and then crashed into a charter bus, setting them both on fire. Inside that car was 45-year-old Shannon Wigfield. She was among 2 school chaperones and a teacher who died at the scene.
She was just the light of the room, and her smile just lit up the room. She was just amazing. She did everything for everybody, and she would give you the shirt off her back.
Lisa says her nephew, Shannon's son, was on the charter bus on November 14th, 2023. He survived the crash that killed 3 of his Tusky Valley bandmates and his mom.
She was with her son and the band that she loved when this happened. And I think, I don't think that she would have even regretted, going with them, because I think she honestly their vehicle, I think, saved more students on that bus that day.
Inside the Licking County Courthouse, dozens of community members and staff from the Tuscarawas Valley School District, including their superintendent, gathered in overflow rooms like this to watch day one of the trial and support all of the impacted families like Shannon's.
I need to be here to honor my sister, get justice for my sister and the 5 other victims of this crash, the crash that didn't need to happen in the first place. So we miss my sister very much.
Shannon was an English teacher at Buckeye Career Center in Tuscarawas County. She was a mom to 3 kids, her 2 sons set to graduate high school this spring. Her daughter is in 8th grade. Shannon's family is asking for prayers for all of the victims as this trial continues. On your side in Licking County, I'm Kate Seifert, ABC 6 News.
And so many people have been touched by this tragedy. Today, strangers are showing their support for the families of those victims. We met David Graham outside of the Licking County Courthouse. He's better known as Cowboy Dave. Graham crisscrosses the country following disasters or events just like this. He spends a lot of time painting messages of love.
Broken hearts don't have to hurt forever, and part of the healing process is the conclusion of the trial and of justice, whatever degree that is. Seeing the driver, I think for the victims' families, it brings closure. So I'm here to set up outside the courtroom, not take up a chair, to let them know that I haven't forgot about them.
And Graham started his nonprofit called Hearts Hurt after the Dawson Springs, Kentucky tornado in 2021.
Now, the criminal case is not the only one making its way through the court system right now. The estates of 3 people killed in this crash are suing Jacob McDonald along with the companies that sold the truck and operate it. These lawsuits claim the semi was not equipped with safety systems that could have prevented this accident. They also accuse them of negligence. The companies have denied responsibility for the crash.
And this bus crash also led the state of Ohio to look into charter bus safety. Last year, Governor Mike DeWine announced the findings of the Ohio School Bus Safety Working Group. It recommended school districts using charter buses come up with screening policies to ensure the quality of both the buses and the drivers. It says that districts should be looking into the reputation of a business, driver qualifications, and training along with the fleet condition.